The Giro d'Italia, live and on demand every day on GCN+. Stage 3 of the Giro d'Italia was one of the longest of the race, the third longest to be exact, 213 kilometres, but cloudy skies greeted the riders for the first time as they land up in Vasto and were ready to go through 4 different regions. Mads Pedersen was the man hoping to bounce back from the crash that destroyed his chances of taking stage 2. Primož Roglič looking for more success, maybe a chance to chip away at bonus seconds towards the end, with Remco Evenepoel still in the lead. Straight down the coast from Abruzzo to Molise to Puglia, and then into Basilicata, one of the lesser-known regions of Italy. A couple of tough climbs to take in on the slopes of an extinct volcano before a finish in Melfi. 213 kilometres for stage 3 of the Giro. And once the flag was waved, we wondered whether we'd get an interesting start. But there was the shake of a head as the two riders who went away knew what they were about to let themselves in for. Team Corratec Selle Italia told to get up the road, and Giro debutants, the Italian Konishev and the Serbian Stojnic, were out in front and would stay in front with little hope of doing anything serious. They'd take the intermediate sprint before the third place behind was taken by Mads Pedersen. More points for the Maglia Ciclamino Jonathan Milan as well in there. But then the weather would change and the rain begin to fall. The topography would also change. From the plains to the hills, Trek Segafredo and Jaco Alula starting to take things up. The breakaway caught, and Filippo Zanna, the Italian champion, racing for Australian team Jaco Alula, who were hoping to drop more sprinters along with Jonathan Milan. Thibaut Pinot then turned up for action. A surprise at the top as he was followed by Santiago Buitrago. Pinot would take maximum points on the opening third category climb of this Giro d'Italia. He'd then go back into the peloton before attacking again to take more points. Mads Pedersen had been dropped. He'd then regain the peloton, and there'd be a problem with a crash on a wet descent for Peter Seri, Joe Dombrowski and the rest. Also an issue for Mars Wurz. Joao Almeida caught up in this one, having to work hard to get back on. Meanwhile, at the front, after Almeida had got back, Evenepoel and Roglič were fighting it for bonus seconds. This time Roglič not able to come around, Evenepoel taking 3 and the Slovenian having 2. The GC surprise of the day came from Brandon McNulty. Not able to hang on. Warren Barguil dropped, and Magnus Cort, on a day where we perhaps expected him to go to victory, or at least contend, was not in the shake-up. Pedersen, having worked himself back, was ready to launch the sprint. Michael Matthews in the blue and white was the strongest though. He would hit the front, and his last victory in the Giro coming in 2015, he'd be right at the front again. Nobody able to get around him despite the late attempt by Mads Pedersen. It'd be Matthews, Pedersen, Groves who put in a great ride to be there, and a 10th Grand Tour stage win for Michael Matthews. Matthews finishing off great teamwork. Albanese again in the top 5. And Oldani rounding it out. All the victory though and the glory going to Michael Matthews. Jaco Alula working so hard to distance the rest and getting their reward. The stage 3 standings leaving Remco Evenepoel in the pink jersey and extending his lead by 3 seconds on most of the peloton, by a single second on Primož Roglič. Almeida now second at 32, Roglič now at 44, Kung and Thomas making up the top 5. Evenepoel in pink for now. How long though will that last? He's already talked about trying to give away the jersey later on. Ciclamino jersey still on the back of Milan. Thibaut Pinot leading a classification in a Grand Tour for the first time in a while. And stage 4 will see the GC riders and the climbers with the first opportunity to try and test themselves seriously. Between 3,000 and 4,000 metres of climbing is on the menu for day 4, and finishing in Lago Luceno, venue for a stage win for Domenico Pozzovivo 11 years ago. 175 kilometres up and down all day on really difficult terrain. This, the first testing climbing stage of the Giro d'Italia. And as always, you can watch it live and on demand on GCN+.